Welcome to the Skill Locked profile, where every Skyblock year I spin a wheel and can only level one of the 5 major Skyblock skills, with the eventual goal of maxing all 5 of them. Last time we got farming, made hundreds of millions of coins, and completed all 10 of the gold contests needed to eventually max the skill. The 8th Skyblock year begins shortly, with this episode showcasing the biggest setback of the challenge thus far. But before we get started, we need to spin the wheel that decides our fate. And here we go. Let's see what we get. And the answer is another fishing week. Hello and welcome to another skill locked fishing week. Now, normally in these weeks I have a lot to do at the beginning, but this time around I don't really have a ton. You'll also notice that everything in my inventory looks a little bit different. This is because the update that added the Skyblock resource pack is now out. Because of that, we also get access to loadouts. I don't think I'm going to use loadouts a ton, but it is nice to set up my loadouts for the future, so that's pretty cool. I think what we're going to do to start out with is we're going to pick up a booster cookie, and then we are going to head over to the Bayou to get started. Currently, the raffle event is still active for a couple more hours. I want to take advantage of all of the raffle buffs just for a little bit longer. Actually, what I think I'm going to do instead of buying a booster cookie is I could do the security hall quest. This rewards a booster cookie at the end. It's a lot of dialogue, but I'll see you at the end of the quest. You know, I'm going to be honest, this guy looks like a really upstanding character, and in fact, I want to hand him all of my items right now completely for free. And after completing that, we get the safety badge, and then we're going to talk to Elizabeth and pick up our booster cookie. And there it is, the safety squad booster cookie that I'm instantly going to eat. I am not holding on to that, I just want the buffs. So now we are here fishing in the Backwater Bayou, and once again, we do have those raffle buffs active for a few more hours. We're going to try to get another level done. I think my goal for this week is going to be trying to hit fishing level 40. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit level 50 because I still can't easily lava fish and nothing has reasonably changed because of that. I also would love to end up with like 350 mil total in my sacks that I could sell, maybe even a little bit more than that. After a brief pit stop to the island in order to pick up our fishing minions, we went back over to the bayou to grind out a bunch of Titan boas, and we were getting extremely lucky on the spawns here. We got a Titan boa pretty much every 5 minutes for the remainder of the buff. It was absolutely ridiculous. The problem is, we didn't really get any drops at all. My luck did not improve with the ending of the raffle event. I didn't really get anything special from my daily raffles or even the big one. All I got was a mysterious package which increases your fishing wisdom. Not a great start. And that might put me over the XP amount I need to hit the next fishing level. Yep, there we go. Fishing 34. We didn't get anything sadly from that. After that level up and a few more Titan boas later, I was ready to upgrade my armor. If you're enjoying Skyblock Skill Locked, make sure to like and subscribe, use code RAIL on the Hypixel store for 5% off your order, and make sure to stay tuned until the end, as I will be spinning the wheel that decides the next cycle. Without any further ado though, let's get back to Skyblock Skill Locked. It is time for a few upgrades. So we're getting closer to fishing 35 and 36. I do need to start investing in some better gear, and these slug boots that I found for 999k are going to be a solid start. We're going to pick these up. The good part about slug boots is that I can actually apply the calcified reforged to it. As you can see, I still get 2.5 fishing speed out of it, and I have 3 sea creature chance. This is better than my shark scale boots. As you can see, I am losing a little bit of fishing speed, but I do think it's worth it for the bonus sea creature chance. And similarly, we're going to pick up Mugma leggings, and then we have to go in and we have to look up a flaming chest plate. This is all part of the lava sea creature set. We will need fishing 35 in order to pick up the helmet, but we do have to try to find a decent deal here. I think the best we can do is this flaming chest plate. It is epic tier. It is already recommed. Then we can come over here and we can grab another calcified heart. It's so nice that these don't have a reforge requirement. I didn't actually realize that in the first week. As you can see, we are totally good to apply these despite having absolutely no mining XP. Regardless, that is going to be a boost to our sea creature chance. And also, sadly, all of the buffs related to the year 500 event have now ended. As you can see, I get no bonus magic find, and all of my wisdom stats are back to normal. This is crazy. Got another double hook Titanoboa. This is reminding me of the first time I got this in the other fishing week, and we weren't able to kill them. This time, the damage is a little bit better. I have a lot of people helping. So hopefully we get something. This is our best chance so far. So let's get that first kill. Nothing off of that one. Now we focus on the other. And let's see if we can get anything at all from this big guy. And looks like we don't get anything. That is kind of sad, but we do get a lot of XP off of that. And we got another set of double hook Titanoboas. Let's see if we can get anything. So far, the luck has not really been on my side. So let's see. And nothing. Very, very sad. I also decided to spend a little bit of time getting the rest of the Bayou chapters done. First, I needed to upgrade my Hermit Crab pet all the way up to Legendary. All it cost was 1,000,000 coins and an old leather boot, so that was pretty quick. I also decided to craft a Bayou water orb, and I needed to pick up a gold bottle cap as well as a treasure hook and apply that to my rod. All of that, though, was not too bad. I had a ton of resources on me, and with all of that complete, we were done with the Bayou chapters. Then we do boom, 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 and there we go. The Pearl of the Swamp is now acquired. We got 35 Skyblock XP from that, and on top of that, we are 85% of the way through our fishing level, and if we come over to Baja, we can see the Golden Pearl has been obtained. That gives us treasure chance. Very, very nice. Going to be selling back the gold bottle cap for at least a bit of that money back, and I'll probably hold on to the hook here. I don't think I have a need to sell it just yet, although I might in the near future when I upgrade from my Inferno Rod over to a Hellfire Rod. And we're about to hit, and we have hit, level 35 fishing. We get blue ringed octopus, Taurus, and rain drakes, as well as 5 health and 20 skyblock XP. And now there's a few things we can pick up and upgrade, notably our helmet as well as our Inferno Rod. And now we can pick up the Taurus helmet for 500,000 coins, and with that we now have the full set here. Ironically, this won't last very long. At level 36, we get access to Thunder Armor. And Thunder Armor is a pretty big step up, as you can see. But we could also pick up an upgrade right now to our Inferno Rod, that is the Hellfire Rod. We will need to get a little bit of money together, though, if we want to pick this up. The cheapest one is about 60 mil, and the cheapest good one is about 80 mil. In order to get the money together for the Hellfire Rod, I needed to sell the treasure hook that I had gotten as well as my Inferno Rod, and I also sold a bunch of alligator skins and some of the brown mushroom blocks from the prior weeks. This allowed me to get almost 100 million coins in my purse, which was more than enough to buy myself a Hellfire Rod. I feel like this 94 mil one, if we're gonna go for it, we may as well. It also already has a speedy line and a stingy sinker. Let's do it. I think this is the one that we gotta get here. There we go. We now have our Pitchin' Hellfire Rod. We have it properly reforged, thank the Lord. I am pretty happy with this purchase. Look at that sea creature chance, almost 30%, 101 fishing speed as well. Man, oh man, are we ready. We also decided to put up our speedy line and our stingy sinker. We should make a little bit of money off of these, and these other 2 items have not sold yet. And after they do, we should have a pretty full bank, despite having also a fairly full set of sacks still. Almost 300 million coins. Crazy stuff. So this is how we'll be sitting for the next little while. We will have our inventory full of stuff. We're going to be fishing and doing our best. I don't know how well we'll easily be able to kill stuff or anything like that, but the XP rates at the very least should be okay. We do have to keep our inventory full to make sure that we don't get any Mugma pelts or any other weird items that could fill our collections and make us get a ton of a different type of XP. We want to try to avoid that however possible, but the XP rates here now should be good enough for me to do this. And here's one of those Mugma I was talking about. I just have to avoid the drop. I also wanted to pick up one of these, a glowing mush mix-in that should give me a bit more fishing speed. And if I'm not mistaken, I think with that, I can instantly fish in this hotspot. So that is very nice. Well, there's something funny. We got a soulfish silver. That's definitely kind of interesting. Currently, I'm just stationed up here, slowly killing my mobs, whittling away at them. Obviously, I can't do a lot of damage to them, but this is basically the best I can do for the time being while I wait for more upgrades. And you might be wondering where a lot of the items that I'm grabbing are actually going, if not my inventory. And the answer is they're going into my stash. As you can see, I can do view stash item. There's some stuff in there already. And I could do view stash material. And there's some more stuff in here. There's a rare drop we can't use. That's a pitching koi. That's about 130,000 coins, but once again, can't really apply it to anything because of the mining level requirement. The very least, we can sell it and make some of that money back. And we can sell pretty much everything in our stash for about 400k coins. We are going to do that and clear it out just a little bit. We also got the coal collection unlocked, and that's an interesting one given that it doesn't actually have any sort of mining rewards there. Once again, we're still at mining 0, so that's another mining collection that we have unlocked despite having 0 mining. Okay, we are now in a bit of a dangerous situation. I got a great catch here, and that was Enchanted Sand times 64. And thankfully, that by itself doesn't unlock you any sort of mining XP. But as you can see, at 25k, you get 10k mining XP. Now, I can't get this, and I'm not certain it's something that I'm able to prevent from happening in terms of putting it in a personal deleter. I'm going to look into that. That might be what I need to do, but that is not good. And note, my inventory is still full. I just get the collection anyway. Regardless, that is not good at all. We are 41% of the way to this mining level milestone thing, and I don't want to hit it in any capacity. So I did some testing on the main, and sadly, it seems like even if I set up a personal deleter, and even if I kept my inventory full, I don't think I'm going to be able to keep on fishing here, at least temporarily, because of the risk associated with red sand. I know how I'm going to have to get around it. I'm going to need to have 100 total sea creature chance, but we're not super close to that. As you can see, we're at 69.26%. We are just going to have to head back over to the backwater bayou and continue to fish there. That's just so sad, man. I really wish the deleter was set up properly to where it wouldn't count the collection, but I do understand in, the counterfactual why that works like that. For now, we will be going back to the bayou. So because of that, we have inadvertently created a new goal for ourselves. We need to get to 350 total fishing speed while also having 100 total sea creature chance. Now, there's a few upgrades we're going to pick up in the near future, but there's a lot of stuff we're also locked out of. I don't think, for example, I can get my hands on a beacon anytime soon. That would be a good way to get some SCC. On top of that, there's some upgrades to gear that I'm going to need to pick up in the near future, especially after I hit this next fishing level. But right now, it's just going to be fishing in the bayou until I get that level. I think I'm going to wrap up day 1 right about here. I've been fishing since basically 9 in the morning, and it's now 11 o'clock at night. And as you can see, I'm 76% of the way through fishing 35, getting close to fishing 36. The goal is going to be to get thunders together, get thunder armor, get the thunder necklace, try to upgrade our gear as much as possible. We thankfully do have a lot of money to work with. That is not a problem for us, but we do need to try to get 100 sea creature chance as fast as humanly possible if we want to go back over to the Crimson Isle and lava fish some more, which I definitely want to do. So I'll see you in day number 2. So here we are beginning day number 2 of the Skill Locked Fishing Week, and we are just hanging out having a pretty good time on the bayou so far. And I figure the next time I'll check in is when I'll be hitting that next fishing level. There is a lot we unlock once again at fishing 36. I also decided to pick up a ton of Strider Surfer shards. This should make me do a bit more damage to magmatic mobs, which is pretty useful for when I eventually get back to lava fishing. Another day of spawning a lot of Titanoboas, way more than I probably should have, but once again, not a lot of luck. I think I used all of that up when I dropped the Snake Eyes last time out. And we're about to hit the next fishing level, and there it is. That is fishing 36 with Thunder unlocked, 3.6 treasure chance, 500k coins. Now we move on to try to get fishing 37, but there is a bunch of upgrades we need to get. So let's start working on that. So to begin here, we're going to grab a snowy thunderbolt necklace for about 2 million coins. That is going to be a huge upgrade over our backwater necklace. And as for the armor, I think I'm going to go with this set right here. It's about 4.5 million each. All of it is already calcified, and it is very solid. The gemstones are already applied as well. So as you can see, now we have our full set of calcified thunder. And right now, if we were to take a look, with our Hellfire Rod, and we look at our Skyblock menu, we're up to 85.31 sea creature chance. Now, if we were to swap out our gear, and we hold out the same rod, you can see we're up to 90.91. So we are making significant progress. There's just a little bit more we need to do. And with our dolphin pet, we get a little bit closer, although we do lose out on quite a bit of fishing speed. We're at 248 fishing speed and 92 sea creature chance. There's a few other things I can do here, but there is a lot of money we would need to spend in order to get all the way to 100. We are going to try, though. All right, so we have worked out a bit of a solution. As you can see, if I hold out my rod and I open up my Skyblock menu, I'm up to 94.06 sea creature chance. And then on top of that, I'm using spiked bait. This gives you an extra 6, which means I'm at barely over 100 sea creature chance. So that avoids the problem related to treasure. That is really, really nice. The problem is I only have 211 fishing speed while on the island like this, and I can't really increase it in any meaningful way. Normally, the way I would get a lot more is I would have a pet that isn't my dolphin on. I would use something totally different. I can't really do that in the current state of things. If I were to swap over to my flying fish, for example, I have only a total of 77.96 SCC. Sadly, we are just going to have to fish with the incredibly slow fishing speed. If we want to actually lava fish whatsoever, we're still going to have our inventory full. This is going to be really, really awkward. I'm going to be honest here. But at the very least, our damage has gone up very considerably. Now we're doing about 70k damage a hit, but still not a perfect situation. At the very least, when we are fishing on the Bayou with our normal setup, we get 85 sea creature chance now, which is very solid, and with the spiked bait, it's more like 91. That will boost our rates on the Bayou pretty considerably, which is great. But I think we are still going to have to wait on actually lava fishing for a whole while longer. It might take all the way to fishing 45. I think the only chance that I really have is getting Magma Lord and then updating my flying fish pet, and then maybe I'll have enough, all things considered. But I'm not even certain about that working. I'm going to be real, this is a very tough situation to be in. Since we were back in the Bayou, you know what time it was. A lot more Titanoboas ended up spawning. I also decided to go over to the Lotus Atoll briefly, and I got a few frog princes over there. No crazy rare drops, sadly. However, we were getting a lot of XP from these kills. Getting pretty close to that next fishing level, and I got expertise 10 on my Rod of the Sea. That is very nice, a huge bonus for this fishing rod. We're about to hit the next level. That'll be fishing 37, I believe. And I think I'm going to wrap it up for the night here. I've been fishing for a while. Not the most efficient day, I'm going to be honest. But I'm just kind of finding my footing again after having such a rough situation come up with lava fishing. We're up to fishing 37, though. I do think that fishing 40 by the end of the week is possible. Even if we take it slow, get one more level a day. That is definitely feasible, so that's nice at the very least. So here we are in another Skill Locked Fishing Week, Day 3, and this is the third fishing week in total. And so far, we're just doing more of the same, grinding out a lot of sea creatures. The goal today would be to hit fishing level 38. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go much beyond level 40 in total, but for now, we can try. And an accessory I wanted to pick up for a little while now is the seal ring. This is about 11 million coins. It gives you 1 sea creature chance, Frankly, we are struggling so bad with sea creature chance that we might as well pick it up. That is also a little bit more accessory power, which is kind of nice. Hopefully we get a mining week though in the future so we can have a larger accessory bag, because I'm currently having to store quite a few accessories just all around my ender chests, which are just so not organized properly. But with that, as you can see, we go all the way up to 87.4 SCC with the Megalodon, and if we were to put on the Dolphin Pet, it would go up to a total of 88.5. And I think there's a few other smaller things we could do, and if we were to swap onto my Hellfire Rod, we'd go all the way up to 95.06, which is pretty nice. Something else we can do, we can pick up a Moby Duck Collector's Edition. This is about 6 million coins to insta-buy, and as you can see, you can consume it to gain 30 fishing wisdom for 60 minutes, and also you get a permanent +1 fishing wisdom. Now, I want that really badly, because I am going to try to go back over to the Crimson Isle. I need to pick up quite a few new bait. Notably, I need to pick up spiked bait. Obviously, at 240 fishing speed, I don't know if this is going to be better in terms of my rates. We're going to try it out again for a little while, but if it's still bad, we'll head back over to the Bayou in shame. I also decided to pick up more of the Drowned and Stratosurfer shards, as they are the magmatic and humanoid ruler shards, giving me more damage against those creatures, which is very useful on the Crimson Isle. And as you can see, that has definitely boosted my damage on Tauruses. I'm up to around 75k-ish damage per hit with my Soul Whip, so that is very nice. And there's 8k fishing XP from a kill. I also decided to pick up a bunch of flare shards during this time. They would allow me to level up Infernal Ruler, making me deal more damage to any mobs that were infernal. And there were a few lava sea creatures that were, notably the Blaze. After this point, I decided to go back over to the Bayou. I had a lot of resources that I could sell and convert back into Crimson Essence from my time over in the Crimson Isle. But I wanted to go back to the Bayou to continue getting a lot of Titanoboas, and oh boy, did I get a lot of them. However, my luck was not any better than the last few tries, and despite getting a ton of Titanoboa kills and spawning a lot of them, having really great spawning luck, I did not get anything from these guys whatsoever. We're going to spend about 8 million coins on a bunch of Cayman shards, and the reason why is we want to boost up our ruler shards a little bit more. So as you can see, our ruler attributes are now 20% stronger. And as you can see, we got Bestiary Milestone 100. We're not going to claim it, but if we were, we would be getting a lot of combat XP, as you can see. The next time we get a combat week, we are going to have a great experience those first few hours, because of how much XP we are going to get. And as you can see, to level up to the next level, all we need is 1 million XP. So next time we start out, I think we'll be closer to combat 30, which is crazy. All right, we're about to hit the next fishing level, and I think that'll do it. It's just off of a rusty coin. That's fishing 38, which is absolutely crazy. And welcome to day number 4 of Skill Locked Fishing Week number 3. And we're back on the Bayou, and I apologize for kind of cutting the previous day short a little bit. There was a major update on the Alpha Network that I pretty much had to cover for the entire evening. A lot of early game updates, healing revamps coming out eventually, stuff that'll affect us a lot in future weeks, but for now, we're going to keep on fishing. We're going to stay on the Bayou for at least a little while longer. It's getting pretty close to the spooky event, so I'm going to actually pick up a spooky hook to put on my rod for now. There's quite a few things that we can drop as part of spooky fishing. I don't really know exactly what I can drop. I actually haven't really done any spooky fishing, even on my main profile. This is like a one part of the game that I just have no idea about, so I guess I'm going to find out now. We're going to grab that and put that on our rod. We actually don't have a hook on it at the moment anyway, so we can just drop that right on there. There we go. And we also picked up a bunch of spooky bait. This gives us some fishing speed as well as a bonus chance to catch spooky sea creatures during the festival. We already have a lot of pumpkins and a lot of fish on us, so we are just able to craft that. We don't need to buy it. And now we just start fishing. During the Spooky Festival, we didn't really drop anything too crazy, but we did run into a problem. I had gotten a trick-or-treat bag, and it had filled up with candy, and that meant I could no longer gain points in the event due to my trick-or-treat bag being full. I didn't notice this for a very long time. It was completely on me, but it does feel like a little bit of a bug. I had to throw out a bunch of candy and move it into my main inventory in order to start getting points again. We were originally going to get closer to 2,500 total points. We ended up at around 1,500. And here we go. The Spooky Festival is about to wrap up, as you can see. And we ended up with a little over 1,500 points. I think we could have done so much better had that issue not popped up. So keep that in mind for you in the future. Make sure if you have a trick-or-treat bag, it doesn't get completely full, or you'll end up like me, and that's not a good thing in this respect. At the very least, we made a lot of money, and we have a lot of trick-or-treat candy that we could sell for millions of coins. I don't think I'm going to sell all of it, but as you can see, we did make a lot. 7 million in our inventory, 373 in our sacks, and probably another 10-ish million coins in our trick or treat bag. And there we go. The 500-second Spooky Festival is done. I ended up at 1579 candy, and I do get that Vampirism 6 book, which is nice. And we can claim all of these rewards, the carnival tickets, the coins, the Vampirism 6 book once again, the Spooky Pie, and we can put up all of those carnival tickets. We have stacks for the next time the carnival comes around. I wasn't able to take full advantage of the rest of the time that we had to spooky fish, but I still made quite a bit of money, and I was ready to hit another fishing level relatively soon. So we are just a few moments away from yet another fishing level. We were on the atoll for a little while, we got a bunch of progress done, but I like hitting these milestones over on the Bayou. It's just a place that I've become incredibly accustomed to over the last long while. And if we kill all of these trash gobblers, there we go. There's another skyblock level that puts us at 147, and also fishing 39, one away from 40. Pretty soon we're going to be going for that. I'm going to try to get a little bit of progress done tonight, but we're going to probably wrap that up tomorrow. That will be the last day of the week as well. Of course, we were not able to make a crazy amount of progress this week. I was hoping to get into like fishing 45 maybe, but 40 I think is good enough. So let's keep on going. So we have been selling quite a few things, most of our candy from the Spooky Festival, among a bunch of other things. We'll have to take this stuff down and pull it back up and try to get as much of it sold as possible. We also have a lot of candy, as you could see, notably a ton of purple candy, a little bit over 5.5 stacks, which is a lot of money here if I were to sell it all. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this. I might just keep it for a future week. And there goes 2 frog princes. We didn't get anything from either of them, but that is quite a bit of XP. And we do get that shot of the prince's crown jewel, and I don't know exactly how much that is right now. Wow, 175 mil. So if we were to get that, that would be insane. Too bad we didn't. Also decided to spend our money that we earned on a few attributes. I wanted to pick up Payback. This one makes it so when hit, my next hit deals 20% damage. Super cheap to pick up. They were like 70k each on the bazaar, which is not bad at all. Aside from a few more frog princes, which didn't really yield anything for us, it was time to move on to the final day of the skill locked week, where my main goal was to hit fishing level 40. Good morning and welcome to the last day of Skill Locked Fishing Week, and I've decided to pick up all of my minions' items within. I've also upgraded my fishing minion to tier 11. I had a lot of money on me and I decided what the hell, might as well. This minion should be way stronger than he was before. Next, we are going to pick up another booster cookie because we are running out of time on our current one. We have less than an hour remaining, and I am going to be fishing pretty much all day today. We might as well also get the bits associated with the cookie. That is a huge benefit. And now we get back to the grind. I think I'm going to be on the Lotus Atoll for at least a little while, probably until I get this next fishing level. The XP here is pretty quick. I might as well just stay here until I have it. When I get that level, I'm going to get a hotspot hook, put it on my rod, and try to get myself at least a few Wiki Tiki kills. I decided to take a bit of a detour to get all of the trophy frogs on the Lotus Atoll, and frankly this didn't take too long. I didn't have a lot of trophy frogs left to collect, and many of them have alright drop rates for at least collecting one of them. So with the Highlands frog collected, I had all of them done. We can now head over to Researcher Reapery And we can pick up 20 Lotus, an applicant statement, and the bronze trophy frog sack. That is going to be very nice for future fishing on the island. I don't know why I put that in the wrong sack area. There we go. As you can see, now we could store everything up, but we're not going to do that yet. We need to find a Tootle, and we need to blow them up. All right, we have our frogs in our inventory. Here is the Tootle, and boom, there we go. The Tootle is now gone, as you can see. So now we can donate the rest of our frogs. We can then go over and complete chapter 3. That is now done. And we only have a couple things left to do for chapter 4. We have to hunt a flip-flopper and talk to Timmy. Now, I don't think I can get the flip-flopper thing done, at least not at the moment, but Timmy is definitely someone I can speak to. Yeah, I believe to hunt flip-floppers, we need at least a medium net, and that would be a pretty significant cost, about 10 million coins at least to me, and I'm not really in the mood to spend that money at the moment, so for now, it's going to remain like this. If I decide to later on, though, I will get back to you on that. With our Trophy Frog detour now complete, we were able to grind out pretty much all the way to Fishing 40, and we got a few Frog Princes to spawn, but we did not get any special drops from any of them. Anyway, here we go. There's another fishing level. That brings us up to Fishing 40, giving us access to the Wiki Tiki, which is crazy. 700,000 coins. Very, very nice milestone. That's our main goal for the week done. All right, so we have bought up all the resources we need to make a hotspot hook. There we go. Gives you a 20% chance to catch hotspot sea creatures while fishing in a hotspot. Very nice. We also made ourselves a hotspot tonic mix-in. This is probably a little bit late in the year to be doing this, but it gives us another 10% chance of getting hotspot sea creatures. And there's my first Wiki Tiki, and I'm already nearly dead. That is absurd. But yeah, as you can see, this is what we've been waiting for on Skill Locked. We've been trying to get one of these for a while. Let's see if we're able to get anything at all from this guy. A Tiki Mask would be completely absurd, although I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to be real. But it's really nice to actually get a kill on one of these guys and not just have to worry about loot share. You're actually getting the full odds. So let's see if literally anything is possible here. Hopefully, we get something, but we didn't. We got nothing. Oh, well. And there's another Wiki Tiki. Let's see if we can get anything at all from this guy. And the answer is no. Even though there is quite a bit more time in the rest of the Skyblock year, I think I'm going to do my wrap-up right about now. I'm about 23% of the way through Fishing 40. We have been going for quite a while. We got a couple Wiki Tikis, but no drops or anything like that. And I'm pretty happy with the progress that we've made so far in this year. Obviously, we did upgrade quite a few things. We got our Hellfire Rod, we have Full Thunder now, we have our Thunderbolt Necklace. We made a ton of money. If you take a look, we're up to 398 million coins in our sacks, plus another 2.9 million here. Let's just call it 400 mil altogether. We also sold a bunch of Lotus. There's another 7 million coins. We have our loadout system set up properly with even a little trophy set up. We've been working on our pets. We got ourselves our Megalodon fully maxed out. Our dolphin pet, we're leveling our ammonite right now, and frankly, we've been having a pretty good time. I think the next time we do fishing, hopefully we have a mining week by then, because then we'll be able to progress a lot more, especially on the lava fishing side of things. I imagine that will be the biggest breakthrough for the profile, is getting access to mining, man. It's really needed at this point, but still, very productive week. We made a ton of money, got a lot further through the level. Oh yeah, and to take a look at our playtime, as you can see, we're up to 240 total hours, with 60 hours on the Backwater Bayou, as well as another 11.9 hours on the Lotus Atoll. Let's spin the wheel now and see what we get next time out. So here we are, about to spin for another week. We're going to shuffle it up a little bit. We have mining, farming, and combat on the wheel. Let's go. Let's see what we get. Please let it be something interesting. And it looks like it's gonna be a farming week, which I'm actually okay with, given that we're going to be maxing it next time out. Thank you for watching another episode of Skyblock Skill Locked. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Use code RAIL on the Hypixel store for 5% off your order. Leave all your thoughts about the episode down below, and I'll see you next time on Skyblock Skill Locked.